Look at that handsome young man. I'm still wild as fuck, but him doing better. Him doing better. Him's a handsome young man. Yes, him is. Had a grand appearance, Mr. Panhead, Panza Man. How you doing, Pans? Huh? How you doing? Welcome back to X's Job Blog. How's everybody doing today? Today's Friday, December 22nd. It's almost Christmas. I'm gonna try to get a video out tonight. Want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I don't have my ball humbug hat on, but maybe I'll get it on before the day's over. Only reason I'm not wearing it is because I've got to do some work out here, and I don't want to get my Christmas hat dirty. So, but today, what I think I'm doing is, I think the vacuum canister went out on that, so I'm gonna check it here in a minute. So that ought to be a little fun. I'll try to bring you back if I get to it, show you what I'm doing. So anyway, that's where we're at, chopping little wood today. Got a grand appearance of Mr. Panhead. A grand appearance of Panhead, the fucking yard destroyer. Look at, he destroyed my yard. He got my furniture over here, little fuck. I don't know if you can see that or not, but yeah. He got my outdoor furniture fucking and just shredded the shit out of it. Yeah, that guy right there, he's guilty. He's guilty. Guilty by association, I guess. Ha 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 ha. Anyway. Get down, you don't be doing that shit to me, no. Anyway, there's that. There's that. We'll get to it. We're getting to it. We're getting to it. We may not have got it, but we'll get it. Hot Rod Bob. Anyway, enjoy, guys. Welcome back to X's Chop a Blog, chop, blog. Hope everybody's having a good one. A little dark. Today is Saturday, December 23rd. I'll try to get this out today because I wanted to poop something out before Christmas. Wanted to wish everybody a very, very, very Merry Christmas. And a happy new year. Anyway, like I was saying before the fucking battery went dead, today's December 23rd. I want to wish everybody a happy fucking Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope everybody's doing good. Haven't got no work done because I'm still waiting on people to fucking deliver my fucking parts. So, kinda like you, hippie. Everything I fucking order and shit, it ends up working in the long run, but man, it seems like at first it's just a pain in the butt. Like, what's going on here? Anyway, I want to do my fucking normal shout outs. I want to thank everybody. We're up to 415 subscribers. Thank all my new subscribers. I thank all my old subscribers. Give a shout out to Chopper Nation, Bagger Nation, Two Wheel Nation, Trike Nation, Square Body Nation. Slickhead Customs Nation. Sketchy Hippie Chopper Nation. Edzilla 64 Nation. Roni Nation. Slut Nation. Navajo Nation. If I forgot any of the nations, just leave a comment and I'll get you on the next one. So, anyway, I'm going to get this little video out tonight. I'm going to finish this series up with my brother, hopefully. Roxy's not been doing real good. Well, she's been doing okay last couple days. She was getting around and stuff better, so that makes us all feel better. And Mr. Panhead, I tried to talk him into dressing up like Rudolph. Yeah, we tried to talk him into dressing up like Rudolph. He said, nope, not this year. He said, nope, not this year. So there's that and that. Like I said, if I forget anybody, leave a comment. I love all my comments. I want to thank all the fucking new subscribers. We're up to 415. Thank you so much. And I guess we'll end this like this. Me and Pans, man, says Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from X and his family. Huh. Yeah. Enjoy.
Really did, even back in them days. But fucking, and I would, if we drive along, I'd see one and I'd shut it off. Especially if there was somebody out in front, if they could hear me, I'd shut it off, make it sound like it run out of gas. Then I'd take a push fucker over there. Hell, I was only, by now I was 15, I think. I tell them, oh, I'm out of gas. And they, oh, that's okay. Come on, push it over here. I'll fill you up. And they have big bolt tanks for the equipment, right? And I didn't know the difference between diesel and gasoline. I mean, I was dumb. I'll tell you a story about the Indian, how dumb I was, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But fucking, that's why I'm proud to be able to do what I do now, as bad as I do it, because I ain't Pete Hill, or I can't remember a bunch of these Super Wrench guys or Jesse James or whoever. But anyway, and so they'd fill me up away I'd go. And, but you couldn't do it twice in the same spot. You had to fucking be careful. And there was a couple times that I did run out. I didn't have enough to get back. I was headed back to town to run out, and the farmhouses were like a mile away or some fucking thing, you know. And I still had to push it over there. And I guess I was average sized kid. I'm like 5'11" or whatever. I don't know what it was back then, but and I should. When I was young, I was a lot. I'm a fucking piece of shit now. We used to say this when we was young. Yeah, I'm just a former shadow of my former self. Laugh like a motherfucker, you know. We was all fucking like muscled up from roughnecking and everything else, right? I was like the Hulk compared to what I am now. I can't even hardly walk anymore. Trip on my own feet. You revert back to a baby, you lose all your teeth. You can't walk. You start shitting yourself. If you live long enough, you get totally fucking helpless. Lose all your hair and everything else. Just look like a horrible old baby. Fucking, anyway. Let me see. And I'm sure if I thought about it, or if it comes to me, I could come up with some... Oh! Did I talk about the Dumb or Dumb one where the one pissed on him was froze? Oh, okay. Skip Davies, my oldest friend, saved me from getting beat to death 1,000 times. He was from Jefferson City, which was a uranium mine in town, about 55 miles out of town. Well, they didn't have a high school. So when the kids got old enough for high school, they had to come to Lander to go to high school, and they had to get boarded at somebody's place. Well, Skip had come to town, and the first day of high school, you walk in the big main hall, and they got all them tables. You go up you get a piece of paper with your name on it, and you go along there, and they put down what classes, what time you got to be in them, all that horse shit. But everybody in the world, all the kids, tough-ass rancher kids and the hoods, and there were some tough fucking people, fighting as crazy as town I ever seen in my life. Little old town, Lander, Wyoming. probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. It's probably 8 or 9 now. But fucking, because you had cowboys, you had roughnecks, you had construction workers, you had fucking uranium miners, you had hoods, old style gangster motherfuckers. And I mean, these motherfuckers would beat each other to death. We used to ride our bicycles down Stock Growers Bar on Saturday nights and sit across the street. And they hear about ambulance have to make 3, 4, 5 trips down there sometimes. And they'd bring them out on the fucking stretcher, have them covered up with a white sheet, blood every fucking where. Oh, these motherfuckers were mean. But fucking, I can tell you the meanest one's names, this and that. Like Bob Rowan, he was king. He looked like Fred Flintstone, and he was a school teacher out on the reservation. And the meanest rednecks, all the Francis, Stone King, all of them, oh, they feared that motherfucker. Stone King was going to fight him one time. Stone King, all right, let's go outside. And Stone King ran outside and started punching himself and beating his face on the, we had parking meters, beating his face on the parking meters and beating his face on the hoods of the cars and shit. Fucking Stone King was sitting there and somebody told him, aren't you going to go out there and whip his ass? He goes, I don't need to go out there and whip his ass. He's doing a pretty good job by himself, and just laughed at him. And Stone King was a mean son of a bitch. Name, that's why Wild he had that name. And then Jimmy Pig's dad later on, great big Indian. Some of them Indians were big. We're talking 6'8", 6'10", probably 350, 400 pounds. He is a big old Indian. He ran a junkyard like I live in, and that's where we're at right now. But fucking, he used to pick up small block Chevy motors and set them in the back of fucking pickup trucks, completely assembled. A transmission wasn't shit, you know. And he was a fighting, mean motherfucking engine. Probably that's the only fucker Stone King was worried about. It was I forget his name, his full name. His son, they called him Jimmy Pig. Might have called Old Man Pig, I don't know. But anyway, there was lots of Indians in town, all over the fucking place. We used to go down to Hobo Jungle when we were underage and get the fucking old wino Indians to go buy us fucking booze, but they run off with the money most of the time. They was worried about buying Tokay and Thunderbird and shit like that. It's out of their minds. This fucking drinking fucking Sterno. Most people don't even know what that was. It'd come in a can, you could light it on fire and warm up your coffee or something, if I remember right. But anyway, they'd pull that crap that was in there out and, I don't know, dump wine or water through it or some fucking thing, then drink it. Oh, it'd make you go blind, fucking kill you, everything else. Them winos, they didn't give a fuck. Shivering and shaking out of their minds, hallucination, going cold turkey off that old rotten wine. But fucking, anyway, Skip, we was all there. I didn't know Skip at this time. And fucking, we had a principal, we called him Toad, because short, black-haired, real stocky motherfucker, real short. He was a mean son of a bitch. He'd just stand there and watch it like this. Whether he's in line at the cafeteria or wherever, he'd walk up down the halls to his cruiser. And just all of a sudden, he'd snag somebody up and start fucking them up. Drag him to the office. He'd beat you with a fucking big old wooden paddle with holes in it. He'd beat you so bad, literally, you couldn't sit down for a long time. Bruise you up so bad, it was pathetic. Oh yeah, he was a fucking animal. Child abuse, a piece of shit what he was. But anyway, everybody's doing this. Everybody in the world's there. And Skip's there. And I don't know Skip. And he was always been real baby-faced. Blonde-haired guy, real baby-faced. Looks like his daddy. His daddy had his birthday in the landing craft going in on Normandy Beach. Laws's uncle didn't make it home from Normandy Beach on D-Day. But Skip Davies' dad did. My dad did. So we're lucky to be here. But anyway, all of a sudden, you hear all this screaming and shit. Some motherfucker screaming his head off. And Patch, and a lot of people didn't like the kids from Jefferson City. Because, they were just work class kids, and they were a little poor, and they couldn't afford the fancy clothes and the Beetle boots and the paisley shirts with white collars and cool shit, you know, or the new bicycles, whatever, or a motorcycle or a scooter, whatever. But fucking, some of them of them could, some of them couldn't. But people are down on them. They were like that. That town was clownish. It was a Mormon town. It was horrible. They didn't want us to have fun or nothing. But fucking still don't. I call it Land Diego, the land that time never changes. But anyway, fucking good. She's resting good. That's good. But anyway, here's some guy, some kid screaming his fucking head off, and all this commotion going on, and everybody fucking freaking out, right? And Patch was over there, old Toad, and he knew Skip was from Jefferson City, because Skip told me the story later on. He come up and told him, "You from Jefferson City?" "Yes, sir, man." Skip was real respectful. Nicest guy you ever fucking met. Always was. When that fucker cut loose, he was a wrestler, and he was just a fucking fighting son of a bitch, natural born. Pound for pound, there wasn't anybody meaner. I'd put him up against Mac. Mac had 100 pounds on him. Oh yeah, Skip's tough. He's dying all fucked up from some weird disease from working in uranium mine. And I'm still scared. He's still got a minute or so left in him. He can just tear you a new asshole. Quick as a snake. Hit like a mule. Little short punches. He could backhand you. Boom! Like that. Did me one time for running my head about his girlfriend. Knocked me, pull him out of the chair, about to pull him over there. Stunned me. Knocked me out for a second or two. Oh, he's tough. But anyway. And then he cried like a baby. Started punching himself. He felt bad for doing it. Kids, crazy kids. Most of you guys would like that. Probably a lot would be a lot worse. But anyway, and I see it. You know, I don't think nothing about it. Well, it scares me. Is it still going?
Yep.
And but Patch come up and said, "Oh, you're from Jefferson City?" "Yes, sir." Mr. What did I say his name was? I think his last name was Patch. I forget. "Yes, sir, principal," or whatever. He's real respectful. Patch goes, "You son of a bitch, troublemaker," motherfucker started getting in his face. Skip doesn't say nothing. He's standing there just being real respectful. This fucker's a gorilla. He's a little gorilla. He reaches up and grabs Skip's ear. "You son of a bitch, give me a dirty look," and Skip didn't even do nothing. Didn't do nothing. And starts dragging him to the principal's office, going to beat the fuck out of him with that paddle. And everybody's freaking out. Skip's like, "Please," because Skip told me the story. He ripped Skip's ear real bad. He had to get stitches. And he's dragging him by that fucking ear, and Skip's screaming, "Please, Mr. Patch, please let go. You're ripping me off. It hurts too bad. It hurts too bad." And all of a sudden, he was dragging him like that. He said that like 2-3 times, whatever. All of a sudden, it snapped. Skip just reached out. He's a wrestler. I didn't know that for a long time. He just reached down between his legs, picked him up over his head. Whoa! And body slammed him on that old hard fucking floor. Concrete floor. Knocked the living fuck out of Patch. He's laying there, knocked the air out of him, hit his head. He barely could get up. His Skip was standing there hanging onto his ear. "Mr. Patch, I'm so sorry. He's ripping my ear off. I couldn't stand it no longer." Skip's trying to help him get up, and he's punching Skip and everything else. He gets up and goes, "Get your ass to the principal's office." So he gets to the principal's office. The chief of police was Ted Ullman. He was kind of a shorter guy, too. And there was no police abuse or anything in them days. The motherfuckers just beat your ass, get to do what they wanted to. And before Mace, I can remember before Mace, they just took saps and billy clubs and beat your ass. Sometimes for no reason. Then when they got the Mace, oh, then they had fun. And that was that Mace that would kill you. That real nasty ass chemical shit in them days. But anyway, so he calls up Ted Ullman wanting to file charges on Skip. Skip told me the story. And Skip says, "I was sitting there, and Ted Ullman come walking in, and Skip says, I was sitting there crying, hanging onto my ear." He said, "Fucking hurt. I was crying like a motherfucker." Blood running down his fucking face. Ted Ullman comes in and goes, "What the hell's going on?" He says, "Oh, that son of a bitch attacked me." And he fucking body slammed me on the floor, and I got a big knot on my head, knocked the wind out of me, and hurt my elbow and all this horse shit, right? Ted Ullman's sitting there, and he looks over at Skip. He sees he's bloody, and he walks over there. He says, "Son, let me look at you. Let me look at you." He says, "It's my ear. It's my ear." He says, "I didn't want to do that, but he was pulling my ear, and he was ripping my ear off. It hurt so bad. I'm sorry. I don't want to go to jail," right? He sits there and looks at him, and this guy wasn't stupid. Everybody knew how Patch was, right? And he says, "Just hang on for a second. I'm going to take you to the hospital. Get your ear sewed up." He told Patch, he says, "I'm going to tell you something, you motherfucker. He says, wait a minute. He says, Skip, do you want to file charges on Patch? Assault and battery? And he goes, no. He says, I don't want no trouble. He says, I just want to go to school. You know, he's a nice kid. And Patch said, he goes, what are you talking about? He says, you son of a bitch, you're a full-grown man. Probably been in the war and everything else most of those guys had. He says, here's some 15-year-old kid. You're ripping his fucking ear off and dragging him around. You chicken shit son of a bitch. He says, do you want to try to grab me by the ear and drag me around this office a little bit? He says, you're lucky the kid's a good kid and he don't want to fall charge on you. I ought to just drag you down there and throw you in jail anyway for a few nights. He said, I'll talk to you later, you little son of a bitch. He said, come on, Skip, let's get you up to the hospital. Took him to the hospital. Skip got his ears sewed back up. And fucking Skip don't know whatever happened. I hope Omen went down there and jacked him up. But anyway, there was a little old wooden, old-fashioned from probably the 20s or 30s or maybe older, because there was old cowboy buildings still in Lander. Lander was kind of a famous town. It was the main spot in the state. They called it Lander. You landed there and the roads went no further in the covered wagons and shit. And you had to look Lewis and Clark from there up into the Yellowstone and the Wind Rivers and everything else. I never realized that most of my life. It's the most famous place in the state. It's where the railroad ended too. But anyway, fucking this guy had this old gas station. I don't know if you guys ever had them, peanut patties. They were reddish looking, it's pure sugar, and they had little deals like cupcakes. They must have poured it in, they'd fill it full of peanuts and fill it up. They wasn't super hard. It was pretty good size. They were like a nickel. I always loved like peanuts and Cokes, those peanut patties and paydays, shit like that. But anyway, and he sold cigarettes and pop and all this. Well, all the kids from the high school had always been going over there because he let you smoke. You wasn't supposed to be smoking even back then on school grounds, kids. They did, you know, and all that shit. But if you got caught, you got in trouble. Roll your cigarettes up in your t-shirt and shit. Your Camels or your Lucky Strikes. I can remember before filter cigarettes too, because my folks smoked Camels. And those were the first cigarettes I smoked. Stole them off the top of the ice boxes. But anyway, he let all the kids over there because he made all kinds of fucking money, you know. Some old redneck fucker. He's a real nice old guy too. Because if you start fucking around, picking on somebody or starting fights or fighting, he'd jack you up and tell you, hey, I'll run you off. You can't come back over here. And everybody like going over there because you smoke cigarettes, hang out with everybody. You know, you eat peanut patties and fucking peanuts in your Coke and shit. But fucking...
my mom loved that.
Oh, so did I. But fucking... anyway, all the kids would go over there. Especially the poorer kids. The working class guy kids and the hoods. Because you had socias, you had the jocks. It was like in the movies, you know. And back then everybody was greased up. And I had a Beatle haircut. Because the Beatles been out a couple years, you know. I like them Beatles, you know. I thought that was pretty cool. But fucking, but everybody, most people was greased up and had a DA and a waterfall in front, wearing their leather jacket or whatever and all that horse shit. It's fucking pretty cool to remember. I'm glad I got to catch a little bit of that. But anyway, wasn't all bad memories, there was good memories. But anyway, I was standing in the corner all scared, talk to anybody, all scared, everybody. Fucking Skip wandered up or something. Said, hey, how are you doing? I said, okay. We started talking. I told him my name, he told me his name. We ended up just, my oldest friend in the world, second oldest, Steve Laws, he's dead now. Skip ain't gonna be much longer probably. Hope not. But fucking, is that still running?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we got to be really good friends. And maybe even right then, somebody come up to pick on me or whatever. I didn't get picked on too bad, if any much, at first. But when I got in class, I couldn't even look up. I couldn't read. I got straight F's. They passed me from 8th grade to 9th grade, which is freshman. Back then, that's the way it worked. And I didn't know the days and months of the year. And I was ADHD and I couldn't focus. And I was just fucking, I was a mess. But anyway, I started getting picked on. That made it worse. But the first time somebody tried to pick on me around Skip, and see, Skip, everybody's like, all the hoods and tough guys and jocks and all them fuckers and the Fuckers had been in high school for fucking 18 years, right? Great big ass fuckers with beards, you know? Fucking, there was a lot of them fuckers. They seen what Skip did to Patch. They was all scared of Patch. You know? That baby-faced, little blonde baby-faced bastard, Jefferson City, fucked up Patch. So everybody knew right off, kind of steered. You didn't want to be picking on him. Oh, a few of them tried this and that, but they didn't last long. But anyway, it was just like a blessing. Mac and Skip, though, saved me hundreds and hundreds of beatings and probably getting killed too. I know Mac did. But fucking, so we were good friends. Somebody come up fucking with me or something. Skip chased him off or punched him or something fucking thing. But he was like my bodyguard. I was stuck to him like glue. But anyway, I had that Cushman, and I'd ride it to school. And everybody, old Ira Barnes' daughter drove a 45, and everybody used to laugh at her, including me. In the winter, she'd drive it with a sidecar. Real beautiful little red 45 bone stock. Beautiful little motorcycle. But anyway, everybody parked their zip bombs, and I parked my Cushman, and Ira Barnum's daughter, I forget her name. That's in a museum now. Her mom told me about 20 years ago, I stopped in and seen her before she died. Old man was dead. Said that she had donated that to a motorcycle museum up in Washington somewhere. But anyway, I had that scooter. And poor Skip, he come from a family of 12. They live out in the fucking prairie in a converted fucking schoolhouse. He had to chop ice in the winter. They had to heat their own water and mom washed clothes by hand, all that shit. Just like fucking pioneers, literally. Between Jefferson City and the mines out there in Jefferson City, out in the middle of the prairie. Which he loved it, still does. Best times of his life, he said. Didn't have to put up with fucking people. You start getting around people and it just gets fucked up. There ain't that many good people in this world. There's good people. There's probably more than I realize, but anyway. So I told Skip, hop on, I'll give you a ride. He goes, really? I said, fuck yeah. Now Skip was okay. You could back up with Skip, and you know, he could survive the crash plenty easy without getting fucked up because he could walk and shit. But anyway, we're roaring around, and I told him, we pulled over. I says, you want to drive it? I'll ride on the back. So we'd take turns. This before there's no way he could afford anything like that. And most of the kids in town, I could outrun all them zip bombs damn near, pretty much. Top end. I think it was 12 horsepower. I said 11 and a half. I think it was 12. But fucking, and I couldn't get them through the gears, but I'd get them top end. Then they'd be out in the hills climbing. I'd take it out there and try to climb them hills, and I was always wrecking and everything else. I'd get them on the fucking highway, got going towards the res. Wah! Fuck, I'd get them good. Fucking, and it's just, when the British invasion and the invasion of all the Jap bikes started happening, everything was still being made in America and all that. Old man Honda come over here way early, was taking over. But fucking, anyway, he lived out there in Jefferson City, 55 miles from Lander. You had to go up over Beaver Rim, big old stipper. You've been over Beaver Rim, you've seen that.
Oh yeah.
I took you down there and shit. Imagine that in the fucking winter time. But anyway, the first time I seen this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, you gotta watch it, everybody. It's Dumb and Dumber. And Jim Carrey's one of the guys, and I forget who that blonde guy is. It kind of reminds me of Skip. But fucking Jim Carrey's just a goofy son of a bitch. But anyway, they get in a thing where they got a briefcase full of money or some fucking thing, and some gal's got it and they accidentally run across it. She's up in Tahoe, and I forget where they're at, and I've been to Tahoe from Sacramento. But I don't know where they drove from, but they find out she's in Tahoe, so they gotta go to Tahoe. You leave Sacramento, the weather's real nice, like right here. You start up, get up in the mountains, and you can end up with 2, 3, 4 foot of snow, or whatever, or more, right? Well, they're on this little, what's that Honda you got?
Oh, a little Honda 70.
What model do they call that?
CT.
They got a little I believe it's a little model CT70 like he's got. And I can't remember what the deal on that was. But anyway, Jim Carrey's riding on the back. And they start freezing their fucking ass off. It gets real cold and they're shivering and shaking and they don't want to pull over. Right? They keep going. And they get up there, it's so fucking cold. And they're going up there. And just before they get to town or whatever, Jim Carrey's sitting on the back, and the blonde guy's driving in the front, right? And he goes, gets a real funny look on his face. Well, Jim Carrey pisses, okay? And it soaks through on him, too. Tells him, I gotta go to the bathroom. No, we gotta keep going, or whatever, I don't know.